We often hear about the ways to add dissonance in jazz harmony. The way jazz musicians love to extend and alter the basic seventh chords, especially by adding tensions to the dominant seventh chords. These are pitches like flat 5, sharp 5, the ninth, the flat ninth, the sharp ninth, the sharp 11th, the 13th, and the flat 13th. There are countless YouTube videos out there that explain how to create nice voicings by adding polytonal triadic structures above the third and seventh of the chord. And if you're interested in me making a video like that, just put a comment down below. What we don't hear about too much are ways to extend consonance in harmony. Now, the composer and theorist Vincent Persichetti, in his indispensable book, 20th Century Harmony, talks a little bit about this in the earliest chapters. The idea is that the lowest partials of the overtone series are the ones we perceive as the most consonant harmonic structures. Now, it would be best if we review the overtone series at this point before exploring some of its unique applications in the extension of consonance in harmony. When we take either a string or a column of air, that is the basic sound-producing element of most instruments, we can perceive a definitive series of tones that go out into the air even when we're trying to produce just one tone on an instrument. Let's take the example of a string, like a bass string. We play the A string on a bass and the string vibrates 55 times per second. This is called 55 hertz. I suppose if our eyes were good enough, we would actually be able to count and keep track of all those vibrations. What happens is that the string not only vibrates along its whole length, but also in various sections every time you pluck it. We can isolate and better hear those sections by lightly dampening the string at different points. For example, half the string length produces a pitch an octave higher, another A, at 110 Hz. 1/3 of the string length produces a pitch a fifth higher than that, E, at 165 Hz. 1/4 of the string length gives us another octave, A, at 220 Hz. And we can continue like this indefinitely, cutting the string into various whole number sections. But as we go higher in the overtone series, the pitches are not as perceptible as pitches, but rather as color, and they have less relationship to the sensation of harmonic consonance. Notice that partials 4, 5, and 6 give us a major triad. Now for this video, we will only concern ourselves with the very first partials, up to number 5. Let's play that starting on a low C. Notice this gives us a nice voicing of the basic C triad. The idea is that if we play this on an instrument like a piano, each of those individual strings we are playing produces its own overtone series. For example, the G pitch in this chord is producing and emitting into the air for all to hear its own overtone series. This is what the overtone series looks like up to the 5th partial starting on G. Notice that is comprised of the pitches of the G major triad. If we actually play that overtone series on the piano along with the original pitches of the C triad, we will be extending the consonants, and it sounds really nice. If you're good at analyzing chords, you can see that this produces a C major 9 chord, with the addition of the major 7 and the 9 to the C triad. But let's take this one step further. The pitch E on the original C triad is also emitting its own overtone series. It looks like this when we notate it. And you can see that these are the pitches of an E major triad. Again, let's actually play those pitches along with the pitches of our original C triad. The result is a strangely consonant collection of notes that seems to defy a direct chordal analysis. Now, it may be possible to experiment further by adding the overtone series built on B, that is, the major 7 of the C chord. Now, this might be stretching the effect a bit if our desire is to extend consonance, but give it a listen, and you can be the judge of its usefulness. Returning to Persichetti's discussion in his book, he suggests that we can also extend the overtone series below the lowest pitch of our original triadic structure to produce interesting and rather consonant results. In practical terms, this concept mostly involves adding a pitch a perfect fifth below the voicing, an F in this case. Now, you might recognize this effect, as jazz pianists and bass players love to do this, often at the very end of pieces. You could even experiment with adding a major ninth below the chord structure to create a new bass pitch. The rationale here is that the ninth is actually the distance of two perfect fifths. I hope you enjoyed this little exploration of extended consonance. You should delve into these sounds as a nice complement to extended dissonance.